Tripping with Theo Bowl.
Come on, Dre.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Tripping with Theo Bold. I'm your host, Andre Theo Bold. Welcome to the show. Glad y'all could tune in. Welcome, good people. Let me just make sure that my audio is sounding okay. Make sure we're yo, what's going on, y'all? Okay, I think I'm good. We just gonna go ahead and get right into it. Real quick, AT is where it's at on most forms of social media, so make sure you follow me. Bam. There we go. Okay. Yeah, man. So today's topic, man, was inspired by we have OTAs right now going on with the NFL, which stands for organized team activities. You got the players in shorts and in t-shirts and helmet, they're running around, just running routes, it's kind of going through the plays, going through the motions and all that, it's called organized team activities. And it made me think about, when I played Little League football, I played football, from middle school all the way through part of my college career. I got cut, as some of you guys may have known. I was a walk-on at a D1 program. Yeah, I was a walk-on for a year, didn't quite make the cut. But yeah, man. And then also I saw some clips, man, of I saw this one clip by one guy I know, one comedian I know, real funny comedian, Malik S. Real funny dude, man. He does this thing called we need to reboot Earth, we need to unplug Earth. And it was these football kids, or it was a football practice, and these kids were doing they were doing this drill called we called the fruit basket back in the day, but now a fruit basket might not be the appropriate name for that drill. But basically, basically the players put on like they're in equipment, they're fully padded, and then they're in a circle around one player, and the coach gives everybody like a secret like number. Like the coach goes around the people in the circle and he whispers a number, to each of the players, and then the coach will yell out a number, and then the person in the middle, has the ball in their hands, and they're kind of like pivoting in a circle, and then the player that had the number called runs out, and then they have to go tackle the player, um, and then sometimes the coach will call out two numbers or multiple numbers, right? And then when the coach yells out fruit basket, that means everybody goes in and then they try to all get the player, or they try to get that one player, right? So I saw that Malik had posted or did like a reaction video to this one team doing, fruit basket or whatever you call the drill. And they were barely touching each other. It was like, it was like they were barely hugging each other. It was like I don't want to play the clip because I don't want to, like, I don't know all the fair use rules, and I don't want to get my video snatched down. But man, like, it was the weakest contact shit I ever seen, man. That shit was hilarious, And then I saw you got girls getting into flag football. Shout out to the girls, playing flag football. And there's a couple like contact moments where they're kind of going at full speed, and they got the dramatization of, the music, and they got all the views, and they can edit it and chop it up in social media or whatever. And I was like, man, let me make a video on this shit, man, because yeah, when I played football back in my day, it was a rites of passage, Is it rights of or rights to passage? It's one of the two. I forgot to say. But basically, it wasn't for no views. It wasn't for, you know, like people were out there getting murked, man. When I play football, that shit was not for the faint of heart, man. You know, oh man. So I said I have to make a video on this, man. So one thing that football taught me, right? here's what thing, right? One thing football taught me was keep your mouth shut until you fully understand what's going on. And even if you fully understand what's going on, you still might want to, you know, keep the trash talk to a minimum, right? So, got some stories, man, to illustrate this for y'all, man. Um, so in no particular order, right? So I used to play football for this county team in Laurel called the Laurel Wildcats, right? Um, and I played 75 pound, I played 95 pound, I played 110 and 125, right? Um, yeah, so when I played 75 pound, like I was small for my age. I was at age 13, I was 75 pounds. So I was playing with like 9-year olds, which is crazy. Um, but to even make it crazier is if you were older playing in a smaller weight, you had to like be close, you had to be that exact weight, right? So I had to be exactly 75 pounds. Um, where the 9-year olds could be 10 pounds overweight, right? So I'm already undersized, but I'm playing against like oversized 9-year olds, 9 and 10-year olds, right? Anyways, that's not the whole point of the story. I'm just telling you, these are the different weight groups that I played in. But when I played 95 pounds, right? When I was in 95 pound, playing 95 pound football, uh, man, we had this one cat on our team. His name was, uh, his name was Derek Powell, right? Derek, man. And in practice, you know, like no one in our practice in 95-pound football got lit up, right? Like no one was getting like rocked like that. Like we had strong hits, but it wasn't like uh nothing like violent. You know what I mean? Um and like on the team, like I think I was like the fastest on the team, I think. I was the fastest, but then you had other people on the team that just had like bravado, right? Like they basically were the leaders of the team. Like you had Kevin and Harold and RIP Harold, man. Dang, I can't believe I'm saying that. Who else? Then we had Ryan. Ryan was our quarterback. Then you had Alvin. I think Alvin. I think Alvin played 75 with the. But anyways, Derek, right? So, anyways, we had this one game, man. We were playing against this team called District Heights, and it was an away game, and we had to go play in District Heights, and it was a dark. It sounds like the start of a Warren G song, but nah, it's the clouds were dark, man. It was getting ready to storm, and you could hear like the crackling of the thunder and the lightning in the background, and the coaches were like, we're all standing around determining like, hey, are we gonna play this game or not? So it was this whole back and forth, and finally we got to go ahead. Hey, we're gonna attempt to play this game because in little league football or any football, if it's outdoors, if it's thunder and lightning, you got to cancel it. If you see lightning, you have to cancel the game. So, anyways, there was no lightning, just like crackling of like thunder or whatever. And we go ahead and we move forward to uh with the game, and where we go to the coin toss. So it's me, Derek, and I forget who else was on our team representing our team for the coin toss, but I know it was me and Derek and somebody else. And uh District Heights, the other team, there was this one dude just mouthing off, man, just going off at the mouth, man. Just man, he was just going off, man. He was just like, man, oh y'all niggas is some puss. Like, yeah, y'all ain't shit. Yeah, we gonna fuck y'all up, right? Just going off at the mouth, man. Just barking, all bark. And then they win the coin toss, and then they choose to receive. And the dude on the other team was like, "Yeah, we gonna get the ball, man. We gonna score, man. We gonna fuck y'all up, man. Y'all some puss. Y'all ain't shit." You know. So as we leave the coin toss to go to our respective sidelines, uh, Derek just kind of pulls me aside, and Derek just says, "Hey," he just says, Hey, Andre. That's how Derek sounded. Derek was like real late. He was like, hey, Andre, the ball coming out. Dive on it. And I looked at it, I was like, man, this nigga crazy. I'm like, man, I'm like, what are you, a prophet, nigga? Like, I ain't say all this, but I'm thinking in my head, man, this nigga, this nigga crazy, man. I'm like, ball ain't coming out, man. This nigga ain't no prophet. Right? I'm thinking this shit. And so now the kickoff rules in the NFL change, right? Now they do that whole new shit. But like this was like old kickoff rules where, you had the two ends. And back then we called our ends, kamikazes, right? But due to, political correctness, it's not polite to say that. But now we're basically you have the on the kickoff, you have the two guys on the ends, and the ends job is to track the ball in the air during the kickoff and to seek out the ball carrier and destroy the ball carrier, right? That's the job of the ends on kickoff. Then everybody else's job is to just fill their lanes, right? So they're supposed to run down, run through blocks, and then their job is to, if the ball carrier is coming up their lane, then their job is to destroy the ball carrier, right? So um so yeah, Derek was like, hey, Andre, ball's coming out, dive on it. Right? So just keep that in the back of your mind, right? So I think Derek was the other end, on the other end, right? So I'm on one end of the kickoff team, he's on the other end, and then we got the people in the middle in the lanes filling their lanes, right? So man, they kicked the ball off, and I'm running, right? And I'm tracking the ball down the field, right? I'm short, so I can't see above everybody, but I'm like tracking the ball. And as I'm tracking the ball, all I hear is this crack, pow, like you know what I'm saying? Like it sound. I thought it was lightning, so I duck on the ground and I'm covering up my head, you know, and I'm thinking it's lightning and shit. I'm like, okay, cool, the game over. I just start hearing, the coaches on the sideline. Like I hear all the coaches just shouting out, Andre, dive on the fucking ball. What are you doing? Get the fucking ball, dive on it, right? So I look up and the ball's like right here. And I just reached out and I grabbed the ball and I tuck it in. And then I stand up, and then Derek is standing over top of the dude that was talking all that trash in the coin toss, The dude's on his back, crying. He got snot coming out of his nose. He crying, helmet cracked, and he's up there sniffling on the ground and shit. And then Derek looks over at me and is like, "Hey," he's like, "Hey, Andre, what I tell you?" You know? And Derek stood over top of this dude and was like, "Yeah, who the pussy now?" And when I tell you, man, yeah, Derek's helmet was destroyed, man. Like this nigga's helmet, like Derek had a visor. This nigga's visor was shattered. This nigga's visor was shattered. Helmet was cracked down the middle. Face mask was all loose and coming off hinge. And Derek was Derek was on the sideline, and he was trying to get a new helmet. He was like, "Hey, coach, you got another helmet?" The coach was like, "Nah, Derek, you're done for the day." He's like, "Oh, come on, coach." And then he's going down asking different like people on the equipment staff. He's like, "Hey, coach, man, you got some glue? Anybody got glue? Anybody got glue? Hey, someone got some tape so I can tape." He was trying to tape his helmet back up to get in the game. That's how like off putting this was, man. This shit was crazy. And he's asking people if he can borrow their helmet to get in the game. You know, long story short, the Thunder and the Lightning came, and they canceled the game like a few plays after that. But um from that lesson, man, like I learned, man, yo, when it comes to contact sports, any type of contact, anything, when it comes to anything, you don't know what someone's capable of, man. So it's in your best interest to just keep your mouth shut and just study what the fuck is going on, man. Cause I ain't never seen no shit like this, right? And like in practice, they're like, you think that like what people are capable of in practice, but in this game, it was like he got like pushed to the edge. You know what I'm saying? Like dude that was talking trash, like literally pushed him to the edge, yo, and like the wrath of God came out on that guy, man. That was some of the craziest shit I ever seen, man. So after that moment, I was like, yeah, football, especially football. Football is not that sport where you go popping off at the mouth. Um, another story, another incident, man. This was when I played. I think this was 125 pounds. This was a 125-pound football. Um, so my 95-pound team, we were good. Like we were like it was weird. Like my 75-pound team, we made it to the conference. Like we made it to the championship or the Super Bowl. For our weight class, but we lost in the championship. And then for 95-pound, we made it to like the playoffs, and then we got eliminated. And then our 125-pound team, man, that was a whole different team. And that team, man, we was trash, man. But anyways, um, it was like it was our equivalent. It was our equivalent of OTAs, right? And football for us started like in August, so like early, like mid July, early August is when you knew you were playing football. And you would get with your team and then you would go out and do drills in the heat, man. So we used to go out and run suicides, run like, laps. We do like, like pass catching drills. We find out who's gonna be our quarterback or our backup. We were gonna find out who's gonna be our backup quarterback because most coaches that coach, they made their son the quarterback. So we would do all these drills and shit. Um Let me get a swig of this water right quick, man. Voice is getting a little dry. But now, man, yeah, so we were doing like our little drills and shit. And on our team, it was like one or two white dudes on our team. And everyone else on my team was black. Um, but who was it? Yeah, on our team, there's one white dude on our team. Yeah, we had this one white dude on our team. His name was Brocky, but we called him Brock, right? And in OTAs or whatever, this dude looked like rookie Tom Brady, right? If you go and look at photos of Tom Brady when he was at the combine for the NFL draft, like this is how this dude looked. Just just skinny, pale, unathletic, you know, and Brock was quiet, you know what I'm saying? Brock didn't say a whole lot. But we would be doing sprints and we'd be running and shit. And um Brock was like the slowest dude on it. Like he was slow. Like when you see this dude like in shorts and just like non-pads or whatever, this dude was like couldn't run no routes. He was slow, like it looked like he had lead in his feet. And I remember when we were doing sprints, people be like running past him and talking shit to Brock. They'd be like, hey, what you play, white boy? He's like, I forgot who it was, man, but we had one dude on our team. He was talking the most shit to Brock, you know? He's like, hey, white boy, you play quarterback? And Brock was like, nah, I play running back and linebacker. And he's like, ooh, I can't wait to see you, white boy. Ooh, I'ma light your ass up, white boy. Ooh. He said, look, this motherfucker play running back. This little slow white boy play running back. Ooh, I can't wait to like this white boy. Ooh. Everybody, man, this dude was talking so much shit to Brock, man. And you would see Brock's face just turn red and he would just kind of like pout, but he would never like talk trash back, you know? And I peeped that. I was like, he being a little too quiet, man, to be taking all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So and but Brock was like taller. He was like me. I was like one of like the I'm every team I played for, I was the shortest and like the lightest. Right? I was like the smallest dude, right? So Brock was probably like one of the taller dudes on the team, but he was just super slow, unathletic, man, just last in every drill. And man, everyone was talking shit, man, just running past him, running laps past Brock, you know. Um, and then even after practice, man, dudes was like, yo, Brock, man, you might want to play quarterback, man, because I don't think contact is for you, and just mouthing off at Brock, right? Then we get our equipment, right? Then Brock got the John Lynch face mask, or the Mike Allstott. If you don't know what the face mask looked like, Google it, right? But he had the Mike Allstott joint, you know, and he had his pads, but he had a neck roll put in his pads. So he was like the only player to have a neck roll put in his pads, right? And it made his shoulder pads look like a little bigger, you know. And they were going off at the mouth like, oh, this white boy got big pads. Oh, he think he gonna do something, right? Just mouthing off, man, running, just popping off at the mouth and talking shit. Man, first practice with pads, I remember, man, we were doing the Oklahoma drill. That's the drill that you see on the cover of this thumbnail, right? For this live, right? Some people call it the Nutcracker, some people call it the Oklahoma. But basically, two players lie on their back, right, in between these cones, and you're lying down on your back, right, face up. Then one person is the ball carrier, and the other person is like the ball tackler, right? And they put these cones up like right on either side, or they make a lane to where you can't run outside those cones. You gotta stay within them cones. And what happens is, the ball carrier, like one player is like lying on their back with the ball, it's the ball carrier, and then the other players is lying on their back, and then they blow the whistle. And you guys are maybe like 5 yards apart or whatever, right? And then they blow the whistle, and you get up, and then the ball carrier's job is to run through the ball tackler, and then the tackler's job is to destroy the ball carrier, right? That's how the drill worked. And and the fucked up part about, I think they banned that drill. I think it's illegal now. You can't do that no more. Um, but now what happened in my days is if somebody was afraid to contact, excuse me, if somebody was afraid to contact, what they would do is, coaches fucked up, right? Is they would tap the player, they would tap the other player that wasn't afraid to contact to get up, right? And then they would blow the whistle, and then the person that was afraid of contact, by the time they got up, that person was already in their face, you know. So that was how they broke the fear of people that were afraid of contact. So anyways, we're doing Oklahoma's, and Brock is up first. Like, I forgot who he was going up against, somebody. And when I tell you, yeah, Brock was the ball carrier, I think. When I tell you, the collision that was heard from Brock, man, it just it just changed the whole tone of the team, yo. Like, that shit was hilarious, man. Like, Brock Brock trucked, like he ran over this dude, just trucked him, man. And when he ran over this dude, it sounded like a refrigerator getting dropped off of like a but no, it sounded like a refrigerator getting dropped off a first floor of a balcony, man. Just think of a heavy ass fridge hitting the concrete, and that's what that shit sounded like, man. And when he ran this dude over, the dude that tried tackling him, man, he was crying, man. Like, he was like boo hoo crying, man. And then Brocky just stood over top of him and just it was just screaming at this dude, man. After that moment, everybody was shook. It was like, oh, what the fuck was that? Like every all that jabber John, all that shit talking, all that shit came to a stop, yo. Like, niggas started counting. Like, it was all this trash, all this trash talking, all this fake ass swag, all this shit. When Brock ran that dude over, man, niggas got to counting because now we're in line, and I think it was Dwayne. Dwayne was in front of me, and he was the main one talking trash to Brock in the beginning, all like all along. And man, when I tell you, yo, man, Dwayne was in line doing this shit. Hey, yo, Dre, you want to trade? I'm like, nah, man, you got it. Because he knew he was going up against Brock. Like people would start counting to see who was gonna go up against Brock. And man, I remember, man, Dwayne was counting and double checking. He's like, yo, Dre, man, come on, man, let's trade, Dre, come on. I'm like, nah, man, you got it. He's like, man, fuck you, man, you a pussy. I'm like, man, you the pussy because you the one counting. Anyways, man, he went up against Brock, took his punishment, came back crying with the sniffles. Oh man. So I say, keep your mouth shut until you know what the fuck going on, man. Everybody was popping off at the mouth, man. And then when it came time to us, when it came time to suit up and strap up, man, motherfuckers would go up against Brock and they would come back with the sniffles, crying and shit, you know? Um, oh man. Yeah, man. So yeah, you gotta, like I said, man, that's one thing that football taught me, man, is you never know like who you're dealing with. And even in the case with Derek, right? Like you don't know you don't know like what making someone else angry is gonna do to that person, right? So your best bet is to just keep your mouth shut and then, until you get a further understanding of what it is you're dealing with, you know? Um, but yeah, Brock, man, those man, that shit was hilarious, man. I ain't never seen no shit like that, you know? Um, then but then after that, it was like the whole tone changed. Like he became, it's kind of like that alpha shit, right? Like when you see dogs in a pack and all these dogs are like yapping off at the mouth, but when the one dog come through and do some shit, all the other dogs start to they voice change up. Nigga, that's exactly what happened. Um, I remember it was funny because we used to have like so like on our helmets, like we had a Wildcat logo. It was like it was the side of a Wildcat, right? Nothing like fancy, right? But it was like a side of a Wildcat doing this shit. Right. And I remember like mid season, like Brock's decal was so like tattered and so like battered, man. Like his shit looked like a bobcat from the wild, and everyone else's helmet was clean with the clean Wildcat logo. Like he made everyone else's Wildcat look like a damn cub. Oh man. Anyways, man, what else, man? Then when I was in college, man, when I tried walking onto the D1 team, man, you talk about hitting, man, nigga, that was some hitting. Like every hit sounded like a car accident, man. Like that's how loud them shits were. Like you weren't even the one getting hit, but you could like if you were on the sidelines on the field, the hits were so loud that man, your ears would be ringing, because it's like that intense, you know. Um, man, uh, but then what else, man? Trying to think what else. Yeah, so when I was in college, we had this one dude, man. I forgot his name, but he was in the backs and receivers groups. Because when I was in college, I tried to play receiver. Like my whole plan was to get on special teams. Get on punt block team or punt coverage, block some punts. Do some punt returns, do some kickoff returns. Because I was fast, like and like when I have the ball in my hands, I'm pretty elusive. So my plan was to get on the team through the special teams route, right? Through doing punt return, punt coverage, and kickoff return. And then my goal was to then, you know, once I earned my stripes on special teams, boom, now I'm like wide receiver 3, or like now I'm a slot receiver. I was going the Steve Tasker route, go Bills. But anyways, I remember we're in the backs and receivers group, and there was this running back in our group. He was tall, like he was like about 6'1". But he was like wide receiver. I mean, I said wide receiver. He was like Johnny Bravo built, you know what I'm saying? Like all shoulders and chest, but like no legs, you know? And we were in the film room and like film study, and the coaches told him, like, hey, man, coaches and the players, right? Like, they were advising this dude, hey, man, when you running with the ball, you might want to run down and run low because you kind of tall and you don't want to get got, you know? And he was like, nah, this is how I run. Like, this is my natural form, and this is what I did back when I was in state championships. And yeah, like, yeah, I'm a natural track runner. This is how I naturally run. This is just how I run. And this dude, man, I remember like it was yesterday. This dude ran a sweep, right? I think Tally got his ass. I think we had this linebacker on our team named LeVar Tally, just a short tank. He was like 5'10", if that, 250 pounds, just like a little mini, just a tank. He played inside linebacker, and I think Tally caught his ass. And this dude ran this sweep. He was all upright, right, running tall. This dude got hit so hard, man. Like, this is his body, right? This dude got hit so hard, he went like this and popped right back up, right? Like, when he got hit just like and popped right back up. And he kept running, right? But the whistle blew, and he's thinking that he ain't get tackled. And he's like, why y'all blow the whistle? Why y'all blow the whistle? He's like, son, you're down. Like, you got hit. No, I didn't. No. That was just, he was like, that was just like a little bit of contact. Like, nigga, nah, bro, you got destroyed, man. That's and that shit was loud too, man. It was like one of them loud ass hits, but he got hit so hard and so fast that he didn't know that he got hit. That's how fast and that's how violent that shit was, you know. Um, and the players tried to tell him. They said, "Hey, man, you might want to run a little lower." He's like, "Nah. This is how I normally run. This is my natural. This is my natural. This is how I naturally run. And yeah. I'm not gonna change this. I'm not gonna change that." And everybody said, "All right." When you see someone trying to tell you, like trying to help you out, and niggas go, "All right," some shit is coming. Some bullshit is coming. And when he got hit, maybe tried to tell him. We tried to tell him. But nah, man. What else, man? Football stories I got, man. Football camp. So I went to Art Monk football camp for 2 years in a row, and that was like a real good experience, man. Shout out to Art Monk. Art Monk, man, if you guys don't know, is a legendary receiver that played for the Redskins. He got busy against my Bills in the Super Bowl. But now Art Monk, uh, class act dude, man. I remember my roommate for camp that year was this dude named Freddie, and I think Freddie was like a year under me, or like he definitely was younger than me, but he was like with the younger people, and it was weird. Like, it wasn't like kiddie camp, but it was like we had groups to where if you were this age and up, you were with this group. If you were in this age, you were in this group. And Art Monk has a son named Jamie Monk. And I remember Freddie, uh like I remember he was telling me about Jamie. So I didn't see this happen. This is just all like through word of mouth, but I believe it. Um because Jamie would like run his mouth at camp. Like, he would run his mouth and he would talk a lot of shit, and that's Art Monk's son. And then Freddie caught that dude in practice and lit his ass up. And that's all Freddie kept talking about, man. He came back and was like, he's like, yeah, he's like, man, little Jamie Monk, little bitch ass Jamie Monk. Yeah, he talking all this shit. He's like, yeah, I lit his ass up. He started crying. I was like, nigga. He was like, man, oh man. but Jamie, but think about the football camp, right? The thing about Art Monk camp was, you got to see, like how you got to see the difference between how like players um lived um with money, right? Like all these players are like millionaires, right? And like, Art Monk would have like different players come to the camps to come talk to the kids, you know what I'm saying? So like for example, he'd have like Charles Mann would come through and give us like a little talk, or you'd have like Ricky Irvin would come like Ricky Irvin came through once or twice. Ronnie Lott came through because don't forget he played for the Jets, and Art Monk played for the Jets like temporarily. So he had Ronnie Lott come through and give us a talk. And Ronnie Lott was scary, man. Like this, like Ronnie Lott is not a big dude, but when you look into that dude's eyes, man, that dude is scary, man. I remember we were, I remember Ronnie Lott was talking to us like outside. He was talking to us outside or whatever. Like he was addressing the whole camp or whatever. It's like 100 kids, and like he was addressing the whole camp. And this one kid was like kind of like having his own conversation, and Ronnie Lott just stopped and just chewed this dude out, man. He was like, this shit was crazy. Ronnie was like, "Hey, don't you see me talking? All right, just shut the fuck up then." He started just going off, and it was like everyone just kind of got scared because you gotta think Ronnie Lott is a celebrity, you know? And then to see and people know on the field what Ronnie Lott does on the field, but then when he's talking to kids, and when he man, when he got man, he got heated, man, we were all like, yo, I'm like, I was too man, I was afraid to breathe. Nigga. I didn't want this dude to hear me breathe, man. Cause when he spoke, he would have that little white shit like curl up in the corner of his mouth. Like it was like semi-foam, you know what I'm saying? Um, but anyways, the cool thing about the football camp experience, man, was um we got to see like the contrast, right? Like all these players got money, right? But some people were like modest, and then some players wore they shit. Like some play like a lot of players would like pull up in their bins, and they'd have like the gold chains and the gold rings and the Rolexes and all that shit on, and the shades. But Art Monk, man, this dude had a old white beat up Toyota pickup truck, and what he would do is he would do his OTAs around us, right? So when it was off season for him, or when it was getting ready to get back into football season, he would do his drills around us, right? So he would get up and run his like mile or 2 miles or whatever. Then he would go and do his sprints or whatever. And then in between his workouts, he would come to the different coaching stations or the different little groups, and then watch us do what we were doing, and then give us like pointers and stuff, right? So I was trying to play. So I mean, I play receiver. So when I would like do a route, he would like come up to our group and say, "Hey, look, you see so and so do this. When you do this, you want to do that." You know what I'm saying? So it was like it was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like think like Jedi Academy, right? For all my Star Wars geeks, it's like the Jedi Temple. Like we're the younglings, and they're like the Jedi masters or whatever. Um, and then one moment from that football camp that was crazy, right? Which was dope. And this just showed you like how who Art Monk was, right? Like he was making millions, and he wasn't like flashy, like you never saw him wearing his gold or nothing like that. Like he could have done all that, but he didn't. He was like, "Nah, I got the camp, and when I do my OTAs, I want to make sure that, I give the campers something to aspire to." But I remember it was me and Freddie one year, and I think Art Monk, I think he delivered our pizzas, right? Because we ordered pizza, or no, it was like we were in our dorm, and he would come through and give out our pizzas and shit, right? So we had pizza, so we knew we had pizza coming to our room, and me and Freddie at the time we're like 11, 12 years old, and we're like doing push-ups and stuff, and we're like in the mirror like doing our muscle man pose, like we're trying to show that we getting big. And then Art Monk just drops in our room and was like, "Y'all ain't got no muscle. What do y'all think y'all doing?" Right? And we were like, "Oh shit, Art Monk." And we were shook, man. We were like, "Yo, and we were shook, man. And he was like Art Monk at that time. He was like more shy than us. Like he was he was like more shy than we were. But he brought our pizza to the room and was like, "Hey man, is it cool if I have a slice?" We were like, "Yeah, man, have all the pizza you want." So we sat and he had pizza with us, you know. So that's something that like I really remember from football camp, you know, was eating pizza with Art Monk in our dorm room, man. That shit was dope. Anywho, yeah, I just wanted to come in and, you know, uh drop some stories about contact football and contact sports and what I learned and what football taught me, you know, because like I said, football taught me keep your mouth shut until you know what the fuck is going on. Because if you don't know what's going on, you could be making someone angrier, or you might not even know who you dealing with, and you might look stupid, right? So that's why when I play football, I always kept my mouth shut. I ain't pop off at no mouth. If somebody talk trash to me, okay, cool, you can talk trash. Like I was just too focused on winning, number one. But you do not want to make people more mad than they already are, because you don't know who you're dealing with, right? So that's what football taught me. Um, that's all I wanted to say. You know, figured I'd just come in and drop some knowledge during these NFL OTAs. You know, don't forget, AT is where it's at on most forms. I said most forms. AT is where it's at. Oh, forgot. I gotta get better at doing this. So let me go ahead and do this right quick. I gotta get better at doing this. Yeah, so don't forget, AT is where it's at on most forms of social media. So that's all I got for y'all today. And without further ado, biddy, I'm out of here, folks. Peace. Tripping. All right, I'm out. Bye. Peace.
Tripping with Theo Bold.